We just talked about the Dolphins, but there is, of course, a lot more games going on this Sunday, week 2 of the NFL season. Going to start it off. We just said Dolphins Ravens in the previous segment, so we both agree the Dolphins are going to win that game. On my end here, the first game I have on my slate is the Panthers and the Giants. The Giants, didn't light the world up necessarily, but going on the road into Tennessee last week and winning was pretty good. And the Panthers looked a lot better in the second half than they did in the first half. Who are you going to go with that game?
I'm gonna have to go with the Jaguars actually.
That's not even a team that's in the game.
Oh wait. Did you not just say the Colts and Jaguars?
No, I said the Giants and Panthers. I
Oh
was very just talking about.
shit.
I was talking about Saquon Barkley. Then I was talking about the Panthers played well in the second half. The
Okay.
absolute doofus.
Sorry, I was not paying attention.
Clearly,
Uh what was it?
professionals. This,
Professionals.
this is why you should go check out his channel.
Check out my channel. You really should. I don't get really distracted by my mom texting me during my film sessions.
Giants, Panthers, sir.
Giants, Panthers. I'm gonna go ahead and choose the Giants. Baker's just not good.
Baker's not good, but I'm going to go with the Panthers. The Giants didn't look great last week. They pulled off the win, but that's just kind of Tennessee is just at best mid, and Tannehill sucks. Yeah, I said it. Tannehill sucks. Don't want to bring it up.
I'm not talking about Tannehill, but last year Tennessee did have one of the best run defenses, and Giants ran all over them.
Yeah, 100,
Given
164 yards and a tutty from
get
Saquon.
given their linebacker Landry is out for the season,
Yeah, that's one guy.
and that's a key guy. That's for them. That's almost like for the Rams not having Aaron Donald. Like
No, no. Aaron
because
Donald's Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, but that's talk about a stacked defense having their star player out. This is a mid defense having their star player out.
Yeah. So we
So
disagree on that one. You go Giants. I'm gonna go Panthers. Then we can. You said Jets and Colts. That's not even a matchup. Jets
no,
and Browns is the
I said
matchup.
Jaguars and Colts.
Oh,
So
whatever you said. Jets and Browns for the next 1 o'clock game I have here. This is just not going to be a good game. This is like if you're watching football this Sunday, do not watch this game.
Do not watch this
Do
game.
not watch this game. It's the crap bowl. I guess my best way of putting it. Jacoby Brissett versus Joe Flacco, just absolutely atrocious. I'm gonna go Browns. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
I'm gonna go Jets.
I mean, fair enough, but no, I'm not.
So even though the Jets are complete dog water and possibly the worst team in the league, uh, Joe Flacco does bounce back fairly decent over his career from horrible games, and he had a horrible game. Uh, Jacoby Brissett though he just plain out sucks.
Yeah,
Now given they do have all the weapons with Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Donovan Peoples Jones is decent. Just because he has the name Donovan. Um, but
whatever.
The Jets secondary, they have Sauce Garner, and I think he's going to be able to uh, at least slow down Amari Cooper from completely going off. Kind of like he didn't really do anything last week, and that was a probably worse secondary than the Jets have. I
I don't feel good about the Browns Jets game, but
but I think it's going to be a fairly
awful.
bad game, awful game.
Fairly
Yes.
awful game was a good way to put
Fairly
that.
awful game. I'm going to go ahead score prediction for that. I'm going to say Jets 17, Browns 14.
I'm gonna go 2-0 just because I couldn't care less. Commies and the Lions, and this is like weirdly enough, actually like a good game because Carson Wentz at least appears to not. I don't want to say Carson Wentz is back, but like he played very well against the Jaguars. But 313 yards, 4 touchdowns, very good. And the Lions themselves look very good too against a team I really like with the Eagles. I'm kind of split on this one as to who I want. So I want to hear your explanation, please. Who do you want to say? And I'm sorry for everybody who had to listen to that.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to go Lions. Give me the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Jared Goff, he is Alex Smith Jr. A
Except,
little
eh,
bit, probably a little bit worse. But I
yeah.
mean, Amon Ra, St. Brown, he got the dog in
Come
him.
on, baby. Give me those fantasy points.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have him in
yeah.
almost every league because of me.
I could have literally had him in all 3 leagues, but I chose to take Hollywood Brown instead. Just
Yeah,
as just to change it up a little bit.
I'm sorry you had to do that. Um,
Yeah.
but and then also, I mean, you have DeAndre Swift, who's so versatile, and then Jamal Williams is their clear red zone back, and he just pounds through your teeth. Like there was a point where everybody thought that he would get paid in Green Bay and probably take over for Aaron Jones at one point or another. But then AJ Dillon came along, and we all know how high we regard AJ Dillon. So I think the Lions, they're just gonna completely, like, it's gonna be a really, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I know the Commanders have a decent defense. Uh, Carson Wentz does look back, but we'll see. I'm still not completely sold on him. They do have really good receivers. Jahan Dotson looked really good that last game. Uh, um, and so Jahan Dotson looked good. Curtis Samuel looked good. McLaurin always looks good.
Yeah, I'm not completely sold one way or the other with this because it's weird that I like both teams in this matchup just because it's the Commanders and the Lions. Absolutely joke of a franchise for most of our lives. Like it's really weird. I'm gonna actually agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Lions. First game at home. Actually, no, they played at home last week, and it was pretty electric for a Lions game. You know, people really loving how it looked from carrying over from the Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
They really got to love that team, and I'm going with the Lions too. I think it's gonna be a close game there, and I think it's a good defensive game, but also like surprisingly two good offense there. But I'm going with the Lions. Interesting here, Bucks and Saints. Now everyone would say, yeah, the Buccaneers are better, but Tom Brady, since he's moved over to the Buccaneers, has really struggled with the Saints. Are you going to call an upset?
I'm gonna call an upset.
Okay.
I'm gonna call the Saints over the Bucks. And it's not even just because he struggled against the Saints. The Saints actually, that second half when they came back, given the Falcons always choke, but that second half when they came back, they looked really good. Jameis looked really good. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry,
They did.
bro, they looked really good. Stop kicking my
I
feet.
was fine five
Now
footsies.
the only thing I would be worried about them is Kamara does have a rib injury that he's been nursing all week.
I am worried about
Yes,
that.
I know you are. He's did not practice today actually, so the Friday before the game. So we'll see if he plays. If he plays, I think that they get the win. If he doesn't play, I think it's going to be a lot closer and probably a Bucks win.
I'm gonna roll with you. I'm gonna pick the Saints here. Buccaneers have had their issues playing the Saints ever since Brady's come over, and I mean I saw a lot of power rankings with the Saints above the Dolphins. I wouldn't quite go that far yet, but the Saints look, they had that comeback win last week against the Falcons. The Falcons look good at times, and just based off the struggle that they've had recently, Jameis Winston, also looked good last week, 269 yards, two touchdowns. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I don't. It feels weird to say that, and I kind of feel uncomfortable saying that, but I'm gonna go with the Saints. Now let's go to the. I'm just gonna call it the hate bowl because I hate these teams so very much. The Patriots and the Steelers.
Oh, I can't stand these
Oh,
Steelers.
geez.
I mean, I think this is almost clear as day who we're
Yeah,
picking here.
I think it's very easily Steelers here, and not because. And wow, the Patriots are actually favored by 2 points here. That's absolutely outrageous. I don't think
It's probably because TJ Watt is out, but
it doesn't matter,
it
bro.
doesn't matter. Not
They're
against
better
the
in every single way.
Patriots.
The Steelers are better in every single way. And I'm not even high on the Steelers, but they beat Bengals last week at home or in Cincinnati. The defense is great. Mr. Trubisky's good enough. The offensive pieces around him are good.
I wouldn't say
No,
that.
they're definitely. I
I
say
mean, they're better than what the Patriots have for
they're
sure. But
definitely a top 12 offense outside of Mr. Trubisky. Now the offensive line stinks, but Claypool, Pickens, they have a good wide receiving core
Claypool
and
wasn't able
Najee.
to get open last week
Yeah, but
against
still,
Eli Apple.
it's a good offense as a whole. It's better than like a lot better
It
than the
it's a
Patriots.
lot better than the Patriots. Um, it's really going to be a low scoring defensive game in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
I'm honestly I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call two defensive touchdowns for the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean that's the theme of their team last week. They had the one pick six with Minka.
Yeah,
and
they had
they had another
like
one that
four interceptions. I think they had. Did they have two pick sixes? No, they didn't have
no,
two.
they I'm not sure if they had if I'm making this up or not, but I think they had one that was called back, but like we were at the game last week and
Yeah,
I watched the highlights a little bit of that game. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers as well. I think Mac Jones stinks. I think the Patriots offense stinks, and I think the Patriots are going to continue a really rough start. Colts Jags. Colts obviously tying last week, going into Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. I'm gonna say Colts, but like I don't feel great about
yeah. So as you heard my earlier wrong prediction,
it.
I'm gonna take the Jaguars here.
Uh-huh.
They didn't look the best defensively, but I still think Trevor Lawrence in this new offense, he's gonna start to gel a little bit more. He did throw the ball a lot last week. I think he's gonna continue to do that. Maybe get ETN more involved.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully for
I
the
mean,
people's fantasy teams.
I don't really have I don't have him in fantasy, so
Yeah, I don't either, but
I
like
don't care. But for some fantasy teams, that's probably really important to y'all unless you dropped him already. Like he got dropped in one of my leagues.
really.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a huge overreaction.
yeah. I might pick him up, but you're only allowed a certain amount of running backs. So
No, I'm picking
I
him up. I don't care who else you have. I'm picking him up.
uh anyways, back to this. The Colts just looked plain bad last week,
Except for the fourth quarter.
except for the fourth quarter. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is Jonathan Taylor. He didn't do anything special, but
Hey,
still came out with
he helped out both of us. He helped out both of us.
yeah. Um, and so he had a casual 27 points,
Yeah.
pretty much almost doing nothing. He didn't even pretty much touch the ball in the overtime
Yeah.
period.
31 carries, 161 yards and a touchdown, plus his work in the receiving game. Like that's all you could ever
Yeah,
ask for from a first overall pick in
and
fantasy.
what highlights do you have from him? I didn't see anything from him.
It's just
There was
consistent.
nothing exciting.
It's just consistent good runs. And that's I
Exactly.
mean, that's kind of what the Colts are. Like there isn't a lot of pop, but him and Pittman are the two gems on this offense. And Matt Ryan, 352 yards and a touchdown last week. Wasn't bad.
But outside Pittman, I
Nothing.
mean, you got Matt Ryan, who is probably regarded as a Hall of Fame quarterback throughout his career, but he's also had Julio, who is a clear Hall of Fame wide receiver. So it's like, is Matt Ryan washed? I mean, he looked good, or not good, but he looked decent last year. But he had Russell Gage and I mean, given Russell Gage is probably wide receiver like 5 now on the Bucks,
Yeah.
but and he had Calvin Ridley. But I mean, those guys are still two really good receivers. So I I don't know, bro. I it's is Matt Ryan washed?
No, he's I mean, he's not as good as he used to be, but he's still good. He's definitely good enough to beat the Jaguars here. So both of us have the Colts there.
This is the
Moving
first
on.
one we disagreed on.
Did we disagree on that one?
I said Jaguars, you
Oh, you
said
did?
Colts.
Oh,
Yeah.
I I wasn't paying attention just like you did earlier. No, we disagreed on the first two. What are you talking about? We disagreed Panthers, Giants, we disagreed on Jets and Browns.
Oh yeah.
We only agreed on like two. Moving on to the 4 o'clock slot. Don't really need to cover this. I don't think there's any real conversation to be had. Falcons, Rams. Obviously, the Rams didn't look good and the Falcons looked decent, but we're both going Rams there, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, no question there. Seahawks, 49ers. Look, Seahawks look good, but
I'm gonna go as far as to say this is gonna be a blowout, like 42-10.
okay, 49ers, right? Or
Oh, I
Seahawks.
was saying Rams, Falcons.
Yeah. I already
But
moved. Yeah, I moved
yeah,
past that one.
I mean, you went
Seahawks,
through that too.
49ers. Seahawks, 49ers. Seahawks look good, but aren't they going to compete with the 49ers?
It's a tough question to ask because once Elijah Mitchell went down last week, that offense looked really stagnant. They moved Debo into the backfield and kind of split him with Jeff Wilson Jr. Back there. So each of them had like 8 or 9 carries in that second half. Uh, Trey Lance didn't look good. It's a hard game to determine though because it was pouring down rain. The field was terrible. They pretty much had to do knee highs for those of you that aren't athletic. Knee highs are
You're going to get roasted for that one.
knee highs when you bring your knee up really high. It's pretty self-explanatory. Uh, just so they don't like tear their ACLs out there. Um, so yeah, once again, I don't really know there. So I'm gonna go 49ers.
Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers there too. I don't think there's really any competition with that. The Seattle's going to bring. They look good, but I think they're not going to continue on with how they looked last week. Bengals, Cowboys. Cowgirls are going to get embarrassed.
Oh,
Bengals redemption tour
embarrassed.
with how bad they played week one. Uh, Bengals did not look good against the Steelers last week, but this is a completely different team they're playing with the Cowboys here. The Cowboys are so weak without Dak. Their defense looked bad outside of Micah Parsons.
Is there a thing where I can predict how many yards Trayvon Diggs gives up?
I'm sure somebody will have a betting line on that because he's going to give up a lot.
I say he gives up over 200 yards passing himself.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he gets burned by not only Jamar Chase, but I think Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, if he plays. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is the most overrated corner in the league.
I don't know if it's just corner. I think it might be player as a whole.
So
Very
who'd you got in this? Where
yeah, Bengals easily.
Dominated.
Texans, Broncos. Broncos didn't play necessarily great, didn't necessarily bad against the Seahawks last week, but the Texans, no, no.
I can't. I want to, but I can't. Broncos.
Yeah, a bunch of these like I want to. I just want to be. I want to stick my chest out there. I did a little bit with the Buccaneers game, but let's be real. They're not going to lose like this again. They're going
Yeah,
to beat the Texans.
it's not gonna happen. I mean, the Texans, I'm much higher on them than most people are, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
Even with how bad the Broncos looks.
But the next two games, if you call for an upset, I might be with you. Cardinals, Raiders. Raiders are at home. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Call me crazy. I'm going with the Raiders. I think the Cardinals stunk last week.
Is that an upset?
That's actually not, betting odds wise, no, it's not.
I was gonna say Raiders are gonna
yeah, but just
that game.
Saying it out loud, it's an upset.
Not really. I mean, you got to think Kyler's sitting there. He's gonna be down Rondale Moore. I don't like. I'm sorry for all you Hollywood Brown lovers out there.
I'm not a lover of him. I just have him on my fantasy team.
I don't think he's good. I don't. I think his hands are not good. He's fast, but he's not even that good with his routes. Yeah. I just don't like him as a receiver. So you're down Rondale Moore and you're out with D Hop for another few games. I mean, you have Zach Ertz, but that offensive line hasn't been good, so you're gonna need him to block. James Conner. I mean,
give me some touchdowns, baby. That's all I can ask.
Yeah.
So, Cardinals last week did not look good.
Did not look
the
good.
Chiefs absolutely dominated.
And then
every aspect of the game last week, the Chiefs dominated.
And then the Warzone beta just came out, so you know Kyler Murray's not going to be studying film.
Yeah, probably not. The Cardinals last week, Kyler looked bad. Everybody on that team looked bad. Cliff Kingsbury. He's got some questions to answer. I don't think he's going to be answering this game. And I think he's going to continue on his road to possibly being the first coach fired and going 0-2. Bears, Packers? Huh?
No,
are we doing it?
No,
are we doing it? Andrew last night spent a lot of time trying to convince me. Are we?
No.
No. Yeah.
RELAX.
No, I think the Packers stink, but no, I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose to the Bears.
Bears had way too close of a game, in my opinion. They probably should have ran away with what.
But it's the 49ers.
I know.
No.
But the 49ers, with how they played offensively, they should have ran away with that game.
Look at that picture.
Jesus. Is that Tyrell?
Let's make sure you and Tyrell.
Our love child.
Sorry, I'm not going to show that to the camera or anything.
No,
you're just not going to be let into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going.
I'm going Packers.
I'm going Packers too.
Lazard might not play. But I just, Rodgers isn't going to be as bad as he was last week. I don't care if fans are buzzed. He will personally put Aaron Jones in the slot if he has to.
No, just put AJ Dillon there. Now put AJ Dillon there. We're not going to have time to talk about the fantasy teams, but please put AJ Dillon there instead.
I mean, we can do a quick 5-minute run through.
Probably not. And then Titans and Bills and Vikings and Eagles on the Monday night slate of games. Two very good games, both going to be going on exactly at the same time.
Did you say two very good games?
That's two very. I mean, the Titans are probably going to get their backs blown out, but number 1 seed last year versus the Bills. Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm sorry
the betting line's 10. Wow. Yeah, they're going to get blown out.
I wouldn't say 10.
No, the betting line is 10.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm saying I'd probably bet the under on that. I'd probably say
the over under.
Yeah, on the betting line, if it's Bills by 10, I'm probably gonna say Bills by under 10.
Oh no, I'm gonna say Bills by 20. I think they're gonna.
So I think it's really just gonna be the Bills just absolutely holding Derrick Henry. but at the line of scrimmage, I think Derrick Henry's probably going to have like 5 yards rushing in the first quarter
I
and
hope not.
probably 20 in the whole first half.
Yeah, he definitely got held by the Giants last week, and we saw what the Bills did. And the Bills got an immense, like about as big of a week gap
Yeah.
as you possibly can be. So the Bills are going to take that last game there as we'll wrap things up. Vikings
This
Eagles.
is
Now that's
the
spicy.
matchup.
That's spicy.
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
I'm going to go Vikings.
I'm going to go Eagles. I
Oh.
don't. I don't feel great about that. It's the Jalen Rager Bowl. It's
Out of
the
all the players,
well, because he started on the Eagles, now he's on the Vikings, so it's the
just got traded there.
Jalen Rager Bowl. I like the Eagles a lot. I like the Vikings a lot. Eagles at home though, give it a slight edge. I'll take Jalen Hurts, the playmaking ability in a one night game, and Kirk Cousins does not win big games, and I don't think he'll. I think he'll not continue to. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Eagles there. You're going
I'm
Vikings.
going Vikings. I think Adam Thielen's going to have a back
Come back.
comeback. Thank you. Sorry, blank there. Comeback game. Like he didn't do very well last week. I think they're going to heavily double Justin Jefferson. You got to remember they're also very high on their third receiver. I'm thinking KJ Hamler, but he's on the Broncos. Help me out here. Kendrick
Kendrick
Osborne.
Osborne. Yeah.
He I think he's going to be heavily involved. I mean, you have pretty much Jordan Davis versus Dalvin Cook, so we'll see how that goes. But
I'm
I think it's
large.
going to be. I'm.
We know.
Shout out to Brenchmore Brennan.
Yeah. The best.
The best.
Yeah, he's gonna have himself a game.
It's going to be a really good game. Score prediction.
I'm gonna go with Eagles 30, Vikings 24. Kirk Cousins, the Vikings will be driving at the end of the game, and he's just gonna throw an interception.
You say interception. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be 35-30. Eagles have the ball, and they're driving, and they.
I trust Hurts to drive it more than I trust Kirk.
Really?
Yeah, because he can make a play with his legs. He's not the
True.
most accurate, but like
I say they have a Dak like finish.